Hi all, we are Team 5 and we will be auditing the Saudi Arabian government. First, to determine our auditing framework, we defined an effective real team as determined by 6 criteria. Second, we constructed a series of questions to produce a SMART assessment of these criteria. Third, we evaluated the level of agreement across team members when each answering these SMART questions in isolation. This captures effectiveness from team members' perspectives and gauges the level of synchronicity between members, which is a crucial characteristic of effective teams. These criteria were derived from leading teams and the wisdom of teams. The first concept we incorporated into these criteria was that of a real team, which Hackman describes as established and enduring versus an ad hoc grouping. The second criterion we chose to identify was that of a compelling direction. Without a compelling direction, a team would instead just be a group of people tethered loosely together. A compelling direction connects team members and helps the team to move up the performance curve from individuals working alongside each other to a team with a common goal in mind. As the third criterion, we chose enabling structure. Enabling structure measures the degree to which teams are able to function as a team. For example, leadership is an important part of enabling structure as leaders are able to set the tone and direction of teamwork. Mutual accountability is also an essential part of enabling structure. The fourth criterion for defining effective teams is complementary skills, meaning the presence of competence, experience, and potential on the team. The fifth criterion is strong and balanced performance ethic at the organizational level, such as committed and focused leadership and open communications and knowledge management. The last criterion chosen was that of team leadership. And team leadership is important because effective leaders create opportunities for others and build commitment and confidence.
Thanks, Emily. To choose the Saudi Arabia ruling family as our target team, we used MAL, which is the multi-attribute utility model. Our model consists of 3 criteria. First is ease of access to information. The second was the common level of interest among our team members to study that specific target team or organization. And the third was the level of success and impact of the organization itself. The Saudi team rated similar to some of our other top choices in the ease of access to information because there's a lot of publicly available information about them. It got better scores on the other 2 criteria, and one of the main factors that drove the team's interest is the new and ambitious vision of the Saudi leadership team. They are starting to implement many changes in the country, including cultural changes that can have global impact. They also have some ambitious economic goals. One of them is having the Saudi Aramco's IPO this year, which can have relevant and global economic impact. Now I'll hand it over to Brett to talk a little bit more about the details.
Hi, I'm Brett Lincoln. So in terms of team synchronicity, although we weren't able to directly request information through the government, we developed an adequate strategy to evaluate that based on publicly available information, defining the government, the alignment with leadership, and using quasi-public Saudi venture Aramco as a proxy to test synchronicity. And through a body of literature and research defining the Saudi government itself as a fully functioning autocracy according to the Center for Systemic Peace, a think tank responsible for enduring and widely respected social science data sets like Polity, we were able to develop a framework built around this with public information. Following the November 2017 detention of a large number of royal family members and government officials, we also benefited from on-the-record comments from another high-profile member of the royal family, Al-Walid bin Talal, chairman and CEO of Kingdom Holdings. Al-Walid bin Talal has a distinguished public persona and is often referred to as the Warren Buffett of Saudi Arabia. His post-detention comments contribute a great deal to the unity of effort we see from the Saudi government and their commitment to the Crown Prince in implementing his vision. There is a great deal of synchronicity in this regard, but there's also little transparency, nor is there room for competing ideas or ideals.
Thank you, Brett. In addition to synchronicity, 6 additional characteristics promote effective teamwork. Each of the following sections answers SMART questions about each criterion. I will speak about the first 3 criterion in this section. So the first one is that of a real team. The critical team members of the Saudi royal family are King Salman, the monarch and head of state, and Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and the deputy crown prince and the minister of defense. This team is subject to the winds of monarchic rule, and the team that rules the country therefore fluctuates. As such, all of their team members of this ruling family are peripheral. In 2015, there was an abrupt shift in the line of succession to the throne, displacing one member of the family for the current leader and prince, Mohammed bin Salman. According to the Financial Times, his appointment represents a consolidation of power in the hands of one of the family that is unprecedented since the founding of a modern kingdom. Ruling power is concentrated in these two people, with any other government official having to be appointed by a member of the House of Saud. These rulers do not have any clearly defined roles, constantly blurring the lines between ruling a country and conducting the business of Saudi Aramco. These contradictory roles have confused the overarching goals of the Saudi ruling family and their intentions for the country. Compelling direction. According to a 2017 article, Prince Mohammed bin Salman threw caution and consensus building the traditional techniques of Saudi leadership out the window, proceeding instead with almost reckless speed and apparent disregard for winning support of his uncles and numerous cousins. He actually went so far as to jail 11 members of the royal family for corruption, and he has been cultivating replacement members that share his agenda. What is that agenda? The agenda of the Saudi ruling family is tied closely to keeping profitable the Saudi Arabian Oil Company, or Saudi Aramco. Currently, the focus is the kingdom's plan to open up its stock exchange to foreign funds through its IPO. However, according to a Reuters article, from the very beginning, the rationale for selling shares in Aramco has never been clear, with reasons ranging from giving more ordinary Saudis a sense of ownership to spur the development of domestic finances and industry, to a first step towards a much more ambitious diversification of government assets and revenues away from the oil sector, to simply a revenue-raising exercise. Now on to enabling structure. As mentioned in the introduction, enabling structure can be thought of as a culture that promotes trust, open discourse, and mutual accountability. The family Saud and the ruling structure of Saudi Arabia does not provide this type of structure that allows ideal and effective teamwork to flourish. Conflicts are resolved by monarch and princes, and their rule is absolute. There is no mutual accountability within a monarchic system. King Salman and his son, Prince Mohammed, live lavish lifestyles, do not differentiate their earnings from that of Saudi Aramco, and they answer to no one.
So for the purposes of looking at complementary skills and team leadership, we looked at the Aramco leadership team as well as the Saudi government as an extension of each other in order to have measurable data to audit this team. So in terms of complementary skills, we were looking for a team that had enough in common to be able to communicate with each other, but diverse backgrounds in order to bring something to the team to offer. So this team scored both well and poorly in terms of complementary skills. They had enough in terms of diverse backgrounds and educations from chemical engineering and mathematics. So they brought those diverse skills to the team, but they had very similar leadership backgrounds in terms of where they received their management development. So they had enough in common to be able to communicate with each other. In terms of the Aramco team, they also had lots of years of experience working for the same company. But we didn't see very strong diversity in terms of the performance of the team. In terms of team leadership, we also looked at their experiences and practices that might benefit the team, and the way in which they managed external relationship and created opportunities for others, bringing others up in the organization. Due to the external influences of the Saudi leadership team, we didn't feel that Aramco scored very well in this area. They don't seem to manage their external relationships independently, and many of them were chosen by the Saudi government, and so may lack the position in order to create opportunities for others. To talk more about these assessment audit opportunities, next is Shuri.
To continue with the SMART assessment, the team's organizational performance ethics were evaluated, and the team rated poorly in the subsequent area. Since the organization is ruled by the Saudi ruling family, there are no shareholders to govern the organization. Prince Mohammed bin Salman appointed a range of young princes to positions of power, appealing to their ambition and vanity rather than meeting a defined criteria of knowledge, skills, and abilities. From an organizational standpoint, promoting youth means a relative lack of experience. However, the value they bring is securing loyalty to the royal family. There appear to be no ethical policies, with the king and prince making the ultimate decisions and reaping the returns. In conclusion, we have determined that the Saudi ruling family and Saudi Aramco fall into the pseudo-team zone of Hackman's team continuum. Saudi Aramco is led by several members of the Saudi family who are a unifying body and have a defined leadership structure, with King Salman and Prince Mohammed bin Salman serving as the primary authoritative figures. Members of the royal family have complementary skills with extensive knowledge in the areas of engineering and business development. However, there is no interest in establishing a compelling direction for the Saudi ruling family or Saudi Aramco. The traditions of the monarchy have been disregarded, and the launch of the IPO remains unclear. This further challenges the organization's performance ethics, as there are no basis for this assessment. Likewise, there are no strategic performance goals, as leaders must execute the will of King Salman, who has the final rule in decision-making. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you.